A warm welcome to the first offering of this Continental Cup from the Capital FM Arena in downtown Nottingham. It's the Panthers versus Vitoria-Gasteiz. Vitoria-Gasteiz? Surely you mean Tallinn from Estonia? No, we don't. They were virtually kicked out at 1 o'clock on Tuesday. Frantic phone calls, long distance calls obviously, and the team that won the Spanish League last year at their first attempt have jumped in to deputise. Earlier today the competition started with The Hague against Riga Juniors. Don't be misled by the name Juniors, it's just the second team, with all the players bidding to play in the KHL at some point. In fact, one or two of them already had. They dumped The Hague by 8-3. That was one-sided. Panthers should win this one comfortably, and then it's The Hague and Riga to follow in a hectic weekend of 6 games, 2 a day for 3 days. We're proud to host it. The Continental Cup is coming your way. Panthers against Vitoria-Gasteiz from the Basque Country of northern Spain. And they thought they were playing Puigdemont or someone this weekend, and here they are thrust into the limelight at our arena. Chris Ellis is in the commentary box with me, Gary Moran, and we'll take you through a game which is technically an away game for the Panthers, hence they're sitting on the other bench than normal. That'll be different. Our referee is from Poland. Chris will pronounce his name for you.
I will in a minute.
You've forgotten, haven't you? Something like Murchuk, but we'll call him the Polish referee. I don't think there's any Lynn Loynes tonight. I've heard a rumour that he's sick and I haven't seen him at warm-up or so far. They might just be leaving him on the sheet till the end of this period before possibly taking him out of it. Craig Kowalski starts this one in nets for the Nottingham Panthers. The big question is, will he be there at the end of the game? Or will Panthers have scored a few goals by then? So we're getting into the commentary. Here's Chris.
Well, Nottingham with the first attack of the game, and they're moving it nicely with Murray on the right-hand side. Benedict had chased in. Panthers keep it in the zone just. It's rung around the boards, and David Clark will pick it up. Out in front is Benedict, and it's saved. And that's the first effort on goal by the Panthers with just 30 seconds gone in the game. And the crowd, very noisy tonight. They turn up the noise. Good attendance for the afternoon game as well. But here come the Spaniards, right-hand side. It's shot across the goal, and Lakovic just touches it up. That's offside, surely, but no. Shot comes in just wide of the right-hand post, and it's picked up by Murray.
It's Bravo with a big shot for the Spanish side straight off the bat, and then the second shot that came in clipped Chris Murray, and that's why it went wide of the mark.
Well, Panthers try and come forward. That's icing. Line icing in IIHF games and not touch icing. Do you think that's hard for guys to adapt, Gary?
It's harder to go the other way.
Yeah.
Because this way the whistle goes, you don't have your race, but as soon as the whistle goes, the race is over. I was surprised that it was quite a physical game, especially the first period, Riga versus Hague, the first one in the competition. The stick work was being looked at, obviously, but there were some big hits on the boards, and I thought at one point the ref made a big mistake when he didn't call a hit on the board, and it actually led to a few punches being thrown.
Yeah, there was a couple of times where that happened. Tommy won that face-off at the other end there, and there's another shot on goal for the Spanish side, and now there's going to be a line change. Lakovic came down the right-hand side for the Panthers, and Panthers hustling and bustling in the first 90 seconds. It's a tough one for the Panthers because they're going to be expected to win this one by some margin, but they don't want to go into it too relaxed, I guess.
No, but the Spanish side have a secret weapon. He's only 17. He hasn't been on yet. He's the spare player. He's sitting on the right-hand side of their boards, or their bench. But when he comes on, number 7, oh, you wait. And Moran.
Henley has it left-hand side, tries to take a shot, but that's good work there from Oravec. And then Norton keeps it in right-hand side, does well, and Panthers just moving it around in the corner. It's going to go out the zone, is it? No. Henley just keeps on to that play. A minute 30 gone behind the net with Wren. Wren just looks up. He's got no options, but then he has right-hand side, good stick skills, but in the end, it is pushed away by the Spanish.
Yeah, it just rolled around and Matt Ryan couldn't get it to come off the tape. It's sticky tape. We buy the best tape you can get, and it's very sticky, and the puck just wouldn't come off it that time.
Ryan, though, goes behind his net, then out in front down the right-hand side for Clark. And Panthers just taking their time to get this play going. Clark again off the boards. Nottingham go for a line change. It's picked up by the Spaniards and they shoot, and it is just saved by Kowalski.
That's where we're going to have a few problems till we get used to it, because we're on the other bench. Although it's exactly the same configuration, you know, you shoot one way first and third and what have you. It makes no odds physically in the measuring of the ring, you know, how far you are from the plane, what have you. We're at the other end. And it's when like Clarkey throws it up the boards there, he's throwing it up the right wing nearest the bench, as opposed to throwing it up what would be the far bench, were we playing the other way first period. Do you follow me? It's like it's a diagonal mirror image, isn't it? So that's going to be the biggest headache, might be that tonight, simply because the Panthers are the away team, and it was the easiest thing to do with the Spanish in our old dressing room, us in our new dressing room behind the away bench. It's easy to sort out. Leave us on the away bench, then there's no crossing, there's no difference and what have you.
Clark has it just at the right hash marks, and Nottingham now have it with Caprero, gets a push for his efforts and then just goes along the boards for Benedict. Benedict uses his strength. He's being muscled and hustled in the corner there. Is Benedict going to come? That could be the first penalty of the night. There's a high hit on Clark. Clark draws the penalty. I don't think there's any blood. Referee goes over to have a look, and he is going to put the man in the penalty bench. Probably going to go for a high stick, I would say. We'll just wait for the court. Yeah, high stick, 2-minute power play for the Panthers.
Had there been blood, it would have been an automatic 4-minute call. There's no complaints from the Spanish side. It happens. It's in the rule book. It's an accidental high stick. I've just got an inkling that the Wolves of northern Spain are about to be picking the puck out the back of the net.
Adrian Sosa is the man taking the penalty, so Panthers have their power play units on. You can see David Clark at left point and Jonathan Weaver at right point. Caprero and Ryan also out there. And Ryan wins that face-off, goes towards the net, but then it is cleared, but not out the zone. No, it is, because Clark can't get hold of it. Rung all the way around the boards, and Kowalski holds on to the puck and then just flicks it with his backhand. And Nottingham will come forward again. First power play of the night for the Panthers. And Ryan takes it at speed into the offensive zone, goes round one, looks to go round a second but can't do so. Ryan works the wall, and Nottingham will have it left-hand side. And we're going to have a face-off just to the right.
I think we've already seen like the forechecker goes in on the penalty kill, and he very quickly gives up on it and drops back. And then it's 3, if not 4, across the blue line. I think that's a naive way to try and kill a penalty against the GMB Nottingham Panthers. I can see the Panthers up in a gear, and, you know, it's there for the taking, the first goal.
To be fair, the coaching staff in Spain, I was told today, well, that's a big hit on the boards and it's let go. Benedict has it. I'll tell you what I was told today in a minute. Lakovic far side. Murray has it on the blue line. A pass there. And Nottingham have it now with Francis. Francis, top of the left circle. Shot comes in and it's there. And Nottingham score through Murray. And they are in the lead. Solskjaer may have got the tip, but it looks as though it was floated through. I think it's Murray's goal. And it is Nottingham leading by a goal to nil.
Shoot on target, you never know what can happen. Number 20, Chris Murray, at 3:49, pops it into the back of the net with one of those goals where the shot's about 18 inches off the ice. There's a bit of a screen, and the poor goalie in the Spanish net didn't see it coming. It landed in the back of the net, and the smaller than usual but still handsome crowd here at the Capital FM Arena have Panthers' first goal in the Continental Cup to celebrate.
The assistant coach for Vitoria-Gasteiz is also their DJ on game nights.
During the game?
I think so. That's what he was talking down the penalty bench to some of the staff down there. Nottingham coming forward there. Lakovic right on the doorstep. 1 attempt, 2 attempts. It sounds like, yeah, during the games he does a bit of coaching and does a bit of DJing.
I suppose he could start playing songs like Let's Go
yeah.
and, you know, pump it up. And I suppose he wouldn't want to play Put Your Arms Up in the Air if they're on defence.
So Nottingham have taken the lead in the first period. And they are trying to come forward once more. 4:30 gone in the game. And Vitoria-Gasteiz now coming forward in front of the net. The shot comes in just from the centre there from Johan. And it is Nottingham now on the back foot at the moment. The Spaniards getting a little bit of possession for the first time, but that one's given away quite easily and Nottingham can break. But they're going to go for a line change, so the play is held on to. And this crowd again, turn up the noise once more. Good atmosphere. And a good atmosphere all day so far. Nottingham keep it in the zone with Ryan. Big hit on the boards by Boxall, and then Wren goes into the corner to try and win the puck. Boxall once more, out in front, but he looks for Lee. It's slightly awry. Nottingham will have to start again.
Hard working Jonathan Boxall there. Couldn't have got it in a worse position. It was as far from Anderson and Weaver as it could be for neither of them to have a hoping heck of getting to it.
So Lee now has it. Nottingham look to come once more. That's onto the skates of Boxall, but he does well to control it in the end. And Nottingham go for another line change, and we see fresh legs coming on once more. And that's going to be icing when it's touched up. No, it's waved away. So
well, don't expect the linesmen to get it right. They're British.
Benedict
we see them every night.
For Clark. Clark left circle, shoots across the netminder. May have got a glove to it, actually. Opening there for Nottingham. Clark behind the net, looks up. Not got many options at the moment, so goes himself. And then it's Benedict who hits the base of the post, and Benedict then goes and gets the puck himself. Clark, right hash marks, cuts inside. Does he get a shoot in lane? Nope. And Nottingham will come back again, but Clark backtracks. Nice calm pass by him, and now Benedict, right hand side.
Good job by Clark. He put in right his own wrong. He overcooked it, didn't he? Lost control, came out the zone, but intercepted the pass, took it out of midair, regained possession for Nottingham, but it's the Spaniards coming down the right wing right now, although they've given it away.
So Nottingham had plenty of possession in the opening stages, but they give it away there. Lakovic gives it away to Oravec, but now Nottingham will come forward once more. Francis into the offensive zone, looks to shoot. Salters on the backhand, pad save. Nottingham certainly getting plenty of chances, Gary.
They are, and they're creating a lot, and it could be one of those games where nothing happens for a while because the other team's playing above themselves, and then the other team will perhaps run out of steam. Do you know what? I think of all of our players, the one with the toughest job on his hands tonight is Craig Kowalski, because he's got to try and concentrate throughout, and he's already had to glove a couple of them. They weren't great shots, but he had to stop them. But it's been, we've had 7 minutes and 2 seconds, and I think the Spanish goalie thinks the ice is on a tilt towards him.
Yeah. Certainly been a lot of possession for Nottingham. The first game of the night obviously went Riga's way. Riga-Nottingham play on Sunday. Could well be the deciding game. Let's not jump ahead of ourselves. Sari shoots from the slot and wide, but it could well be Nottingham and Riga on the final day. There's traffic in front of the net, and Wren picks it up. Wren just goes for Henley. Henley just manages to get it round the boards, and Nottingham working hard once more. It's Sari who drives towards the net, but it's Ryan who comes out from behind that net. Now Sari, looks for Ryan and just gives it away. And then Bravo just goes towards the left-hand side, and Norton is just dispossessed. It looked like he was going to intercept that pass, but he couldn't. So 12:15 to go, still 1-0. Shot comes in from the slot, and Kowalski sees that I'm all the way. Contracts makes the shot, and Kowalski makes the save.
And Tom Norton, he's got a few of the youngsters from his school at Bluebell Hill in to watch him tonight. He's one of the assistants there, and he did his job, didn't he? Even though it's let's be honest, a slightly low-key affair for the Panthers. There's bigger fish to fry this weekend, and obviously later in the competition, we hope. But he still did his job, and there was a guy close to Kowalski, so he went through the motions of clearing the crease area. I think Al Kane, as he's called, could be a name we'll be saying a lot tonight, the Vitoria-Gasteiz goalkeeper. He's going to have to come right to the edge of that blue paint and move his feet tonight, because he's going to have to cut angles down. He hasn't faced a barrage of shots like he could be facing tonight all season long.
Yeah, absolutely. 12:06 to go then. Nottingham lead by 1-0. Continental Cup second round action, Group B. And Nottingham, a bit of hustle and bustle, might get this one under control, and Benedict does, and he keeps it in the zone on the backhand. So Gasteiz have to go into their own zone. The Panthers fans make some noise once more. And it is Nottingham who have it in centre ice with Boxall. Seeing plenty of ice time at the moment. And then Anderson, I've been very impressed with Anderson, Gary, since he's joined the Panthers.
Yeah, he's done well. He's come in and filled for Eric Werner, but Eric was back in the country this week. He's looking happy. He's as happy as I've ever seen him, to be honest. And the legs mending handsomely. And
contract, you think?
Yeah, I think we're going to get an icing whistle there. I was just puzzled. I thought linesman Young might be going to give us a 2-minute men call. Very much on track, healing well. He's even seen the the fitness, the leg fitness, bone fitness coaches of the Detroit Red Wings, who've told him it's bang on track. So in the meantime, Nick Anderson will continue.
Shot comes in there from the slot, and Kowalski has to be alert to make the save. He's had a bit more rubber than I thought he would in the opening stages. Francis now skillfully comes down the left-hand side and then has it again on the red line. Nottingham come back out the zone with Salters. Come forward again, 11-10 to go in the first period. And Nottingham have it with Salters once more. Slightly gives it away, so Gasteiz can come forward right-hand side and ring it around the boards. Kowalski steps out from behind his net, and Murray just holds on to the play. Nearly halfway through the first period, 1-0 Nottingham. Just wait for the play now, wait for Nottingham to get going once more. Lakovic and Salters and Francis are the forwards. And it is now Nottingham coming forward with Lakovic into the offensive zone, shoots. Netminder gets a piece of it, and that goes into the netting, so it'll be a face-off.
You're right.
In the offensive zone.
The netminder got a piece of it and looked towards us, i.e. the attack left wing, and it had gone over his left shoulder upstairs and hit the netting. I think you could safely say he wasn't quite sure where it was. 10:37 to go, first period. Panthers lead by a goal to nil, scored by Chris Murray with a long-range effort from the blue line, which floated all the way to the back of the net. You just feel, though, and I don't mean to sound disrespectful in any way, but you just feel Panthers have about 5 gears to go to if they need to.
Absolutely. Wren has it. Now Sari. And his shot comes in from Henley, and that hits the base of the post. Nottingham now getting some shots on net once more. Behind the net now. Comes out in front. Norton shoots. Glove save. And Nottingham really piling on the pressure once more. What do you think of the afternoon game, Gary? What you saw of it? I
saw most of it. I didn't see much of the last period. The first period I enjoyed. It was quite intense, and I was surprised, as I've said already, that the hits were allowed, especially some that I thought were dodgy on the boards. But Riga looked like a team trying to impress their coach so that they can get a move up the ladder and play at a higher level. You know, I mean, I think there's a 41-year-old in the Riga lineup. So anyone's thoughts that their 15 and 16-year-olds got that one wrong by about, well, they need Carol Vorderman or Rachel Riley to sort the maths out.
Well, Nottingham getting possession in front of the net, and the netminder there couldn't quite keep hold of it. Ryan once more out in front, and the save is made once more. Sari just gets in a tangle on the net. His helmet goes off.
There's a little bit for the keeper there. It's going to be a long night at the office for the kid sitting there in the blue paint at the moment.
I mean, credit to them. I mean, you would know more than most that the last 72 hours or so have been manic, I guess, for you, for IIHF, for Spain.
They're wearing their green shirts, which are from earlier in the year. They had special Continental Cup shirts made for when they went to Belgrade, where they finished second by virtue of a big goal difference. From a big win against the hosts. And they packed in such a hurry, they left 4 of the white shirts back. So at the directorate meeting, as it's called, they said, so we have no option but to wear the green shirts. I said, well, actually, there is another option. You could leave those 4 guys out the lineup.
Benedict in the slot. Nice movement there from Nottingham. Caprero now has it. Back in the lineup, Caprero. Clark, one-time shot, saved. Benedict goes into the corner and chases it. Over halfway through now the first period.
That crisp, hard passing is the key. Hard skating always. Hitting will always come into eyesight. But in this game, if the boys pass it hard and crisp like that onto the take the passes, and it won't be a bad exercise for us. Man at the back door.
There's 2 men at the back door. Nice movement. Oh, it hits the base of the post. Lakovic with a chance there. I think that's 3 times Nottingham have hit part of the pipe work already. Base of the post, it feels like each time. They're certainly creating the chances, but they're only leading by 1-0. Murray behind the net, then it's picked up by Francis. Francis will look for Salters. He will give it to Salters, but it's not the cleanest of passes. And Nottingham will get it back once more with Weaver. Weaver just looks up, goes across the ice. Oh, and that's given away, but that's well won back. It was Murray who just gave it away momentarily. There's a loose stick on the ice at the moment. Weaver has the puck, goes for Salters into the offensive zone. Lakovic is with him, drives towards the net, there's Salters, and he gets it back after he kind of bashes it off the back of the net, and that one's lifted all the way into neutral ice, and it's picked up by Murray.
I tell you now, Chris, they're not as fit as us. They would have to go to the gym every day for a year and a half to try and get close to catching us up.
Poor
and that's
line
going to
change.
tell.
Yeah, Francis coming forward, shoots, and pad save. It will probably tell the longer the game goes on. Francis now looks up, goes towards the back door. Wren will chase after it. There's Boxall as well. Wren and Boxall just working in the corner. A couple of Vitali defensemen are close in attention. Good work out in front though there from Boxall, but just can't get the pass away. So the puck is taken to neutral ice, picked up by Henley. And Nottingham will come forward once more. Again, a bad line change. Wren, left-hand side, shoots, and it's saved. Netminder is certainly earning his spurs at the moment. For Prero, for Wren. In fact, it was Ryan who gave it to Wren. And now Nottingham just on the back foot for a moment. Coming forward is Beckhoffs. Norton does enough again in the corner. Good work from Tom Norton. Gets good applause from the Panthers crowd.
It's just a sparkling performance from the G&B Panthers, isn't it? They're not being tested greatly, but all credit to the Spanish team. Hey, they came, they got us all out of a hole with the, in effect exclusion of talent, because that's what happened technically at the end of the day. 1 o'clock on Tuesday, they were thrown out. And they're pleased to be here. Their managers spent the whole day walking around here like a kid in a sweet shop.
Yeah, they are thrilled, aren't they?
And they've held the Nottingham Panthers for over 13 minutes now to a 1-goal scoreline. Posts and the bars made more saves than the goalie, but...
Benedict now goes right-hand side. Good movement from Nottingham. Clark at the back door. There's 2 players arriving, but it just falls nicely. And now it is Tez who comes forward. Clark has it, and he just plays it off the left boards. Benedict will chase after him.
Do you think the player called Tetex?
Yep.
Do you think it should be Tourette's, or do you think he's got a pencil and gone over the first T and the E so that he's just two-gun text from Teddington?
It's very hard to read his shirt. Weaver, left-hand side. And now Lakovic. He's got no one around him. He's got time. Out in front. Salters on the backhand. .5:30 to go, first period. 1-0 Nottingham still.
We've had support this weekend from Jury's Inn, Pizza Express and the GMB. And you know what? The fans have supported us brilliantly again. I know we're not packed to the rafters like we are for a Panthers Sheffield, Panthers Coventry, Panthers Cardiff game, but this is a good turnout. You and I have both been abroad for Continental Cup games, and we've been to the deciding game, the big game, the crunch game, and they don't get a crowd as big as this. No. This is our Friday night game.
Absolutely. And yeah, and don't forget the arenas we've been to have been smaller than this one. They've been 3,000-seater arenas. And the crowds will undoubtedly pick up, I think, as this tournament goes on. Just day one, 2 more days to go, Saturday and Sunday. Nottingham play The Hague on Saturday and then Riga on Sunday. Mind you, the main arena in Riga is massive. I went there last year with GB. That is a big arena.
Yeah, I mean, as the organiser, Estonians weren't very high up my Christmas card list on Tuesday.
I bet not.
But neither are Latvians at the moment, because they can moan for their country. If there was a moaning Olympics, Carl Pilkington on the telly's got nothing on the Latvians. Talk about moaning.
4:57 gone then. Didn't they want a cup of tea or something?
Why haven't we got tea and coffee in the locker room? Did you bring a kettle? That's what we do when we go away.
So Nottingham lead by 1-0. They've probably hit the pipes 5 times now. Just going to see a slight delay. I think we're ready to go. So Nottingham win the face-off and they will come again. A stretch pass, that is brilliant. But unfortunately, it just doesn't float down at the right moment for Ryan. Sorry, seeing a lot of ice time. Of course, unlimited imports tonight in the Continental Cup. But of course, Nottingham can't play Lynn Loynes. A shot comes in there and Kowalski makes a save. We're going to see a penalty called, but as Gary said earlier, no Lynn Loynes, who is sick. But Nottingham to go on the penalty kill here.
Yeah, if it wasn't for Lynn Lloyd's absence, we'd be at full strength because you've got Nick Anderson in for a broken leg victim, Eric Werner. And then we've added Junior Sari. So we were in a kind of full strength, plus the lad who lives over the road. But now Junis is in effect for Lynn Loynes.
So Tom Norton goes to the box. Nottingham 2-minute penalty kill here. Henley has it. Right hand side, he's going to go all the way here into the offensive zone. Goes behind the net. He's going to pick that puck up once more. And Nottingham just battling in the corners, but he's picked up behind the net there by Skinton. And now Bravo will come forward. Right hand side. Try and go centre ice, but Benedict snuffs out that pass. And now Nottingham will have it. Into the offensive zone there comes Francis. Francis on the red line. Looks to go one side, then the other. Lakovic is there with him. Good penalty killing by Nottingham. They're keeping him in possession of the puck. Another 80 seconds to go on the penalty to Tom Norton. And Nottingham being very aggressive and also keeping hold of the puck, which is key. Now they'll come forward though, will Gasteiz into the offensive zone. 1 minute gone already on the power play, and the hosts tonight, the Spaniards to the home side, they haven't had a shot on goal. That one was a shot, but it went wide and high. Now they do get a chance to move it around at right point, and Nottingham just have to hold their box, their 4-man box, which they do well at the moment. Not really much pace in this Spanish power play, but the shot comes in from right side, and Kowalski makes a save.
They've technically got imports, obviously. You know, you got Engstrom on defence, and they got some Finns and they got some Americans, and a couple of them have played at college level alongside more familiar names in our elite league.
Yeah, one played with Tyler Michel.
Yeah, but I've just got a feeling that none of these would get into any of our elite league teams. No one shining. Although that kid Bravo's not bad for a guy who runs a television station for a real job. You know, I don't know which one's the plumber and which one's the milkman.
They've been more in the game than I thought they would be after 17 minutes. It doesn't always go that way in ice hockey. You think you're going to run up a scoreboard. It doesn't always happen eventually, but no doubt Nottingham had all the possession and the majority of the chances. Boxall picks it up. Henley then has it. Just takes his time. Don't forget, Nottingham still killing a penalty for 14 more seconds. Boxall once more. Henley just tries to shove it down the ice, but it's snuffed out. So final few seconds of the penalty kill for Nottingham. Norton will come back onto the ice now. There's a man at the back door, and that's gone into the back of the net, and it is 1-1. And that was just all alone at the back door. I think it was Sixner, and Nottingham concede just as the power play was coming to an end. A bit of lax marking, and Kowalski is beaten. It's 1-1.
I think it's technically an even-handed goal. I think we'd stepped out of the gate. Goal comes at 17:31. Craig Kowalski was stretching to get the first one, and then he scrambled to get back but couldn't get back in time to stop the guy slamming it in at the back post. It all came because Brent Henley was rather over-ambitious.
Yeah.
Cycled back with the puck, trying to run down the penalty, then tried to throw it down the ice, and it clipped at a forechecker, and that led to the whole attack coming in on Nottingham.
It was actually Sosa who was there at the back door. So Nottingham have a 1-1 scoreline. Weaver now. He has it behind the net, and Nottingham will look to come. Even strength with Salters, and that is offside.
And he's taking it down the other end. No way. We're approaching the 18-minute mark. Well, we mentioned earlier that Panthers have a few extra gears. They could do with employing one or two of them now. I don't care whose foot's on the gas, as long as someone puts the foot on the gas and just gets us up there and finishes the job. But I still think it's not a 1-1 game.
No, it's not a 1-1 game. Nottingham have had all the possession. They'll be surprised that it's 1-1. That's going to be icing, isn't it? And so with 1:57, we're going to come back all the way down the other end. Have you seen Moran on the ice yet?
No, he's just keeping that piece of pine warm on the end there. I mean, the coach has got limited lines. What's he got? I'm looking at it. 2, 4, 6, 8. He's got 3 forward lines and 5 D, I think. So he might get on later, but not in a 1-1 game.
Not
This
at the moment,
is
no.
cup final stuff for them.
Another penalty coming. Weaver's going to go for tripping, I think. He's going to go for interference.
I think it's the Spaniard.
Is it? No, I think you're right.
I think it's interference because it's indicating the crease area as well. So I think he's trying to say he interfered on the goalie, perhaps.
Maybe. He seemed to call it when the guy tripped under Weaver, but obviously he'd caught it before then. He's not happy.
Perhaps the Polish referee can't believe the scoreboard either.
Maybe not. Well, Nottingham will then end the period on the power play. They'll have 2 minutes on the power play. So it is Oravec who's gone to the box. And can Nottingham get back in front? Benedict, left-hand side. It's picked up by Francis, and Francis will just wait and be patient with the puck. Man at the back door shoots side netting. Nottingham come close to scoring again. Now they have it once more. This time it's Francis who will just look up, go towards the point. Good movement from Nottingham. Shot comes in from Murray. Benedict in the slot, just tries to glove it down. Works well, comes back to Murray, back to Francis in the left circle. Not got really anywhere to go at the moment, so he takes it himself. One side of the ice to the other. Lakovic, right-hand side, right hash marks. Benedict goes towards the net, but it's cleared. Final minute of the first period. Lakovic and Murray exchange passes. Now Salters. Salters goes right-hand side. Nice if Nottingham, for them, could go and score another goal just as the period comes to a close. Clark will go towards that puck, but it's picked up by Murray. Murray has it. And Murray gives it away this time. Nottingham just being a bit slack in defence. That was given away to Mununts, but now they'll come forward. A break into the offensive zone with Wren. Clark drives towards the net. It's picked up in the slot there, and that was Ryan who went close. Now the shot comes in from Weaver, and the save is made once more.
23 seconds left in the period, and Panthers will have the man advantage for the whole of that 23 seconds unless they can convert it into a go-ahead goal. It's a good-looking power play when they get there. I hate to use the word complacency, but there's an element of a lack of urgency, shall we put it that way, at the moment. And I would suspect the other side of the upcoming break, it'll be a different looking Panthers that come out. I hope so.
Caprero has it. Still another 15 seconds of this first period. Can Nottingham get a goal? Weaver one time from the blue line, and it's cleared. And that's going to be the period over, I think. Kowalski will just handle the puck behind the net. Take his time, he'll watch the clock go down, just give it to Weaver. They're the final few seconds of the first period, and I think to the surprise of probably everybody in the building, it's a 1-1 scoreline after one.
Scoreline at the end of the first period. It's nice Continental Cup game. The score so far reads. Second period time here at the Continental Cup.
A little bit surprised that the Panthers only outshot the nominal home side 13-8 in that first period, but there again you don't count it when it hits the pipe works, and if you counted the number of times we hit the pipe works, I think we probably had 19 shots. 9 seconds to go on the penalty, so Panthers will have to make it a quick fire second period power play goal to make it count.
Caprero, right-hand side for Nottingham, looking to regain the lead here. Shot comes in from left side, takes a few bobbles, and Wren picks it up, turns in a circle, comes out in front, and Nottingham score through Ryan. He had a lot of time in the slot, he went high, and with 22 seconds gone in the second period, Nottingham strike early. Nottingham leading by 2 goals to 1.
We suspected a team talk to wake up and shake up, and that could well be what's happened. Bob Rinn with some exquisite skills, and Renner threw it out front, and Matt Ryan showed a nice touch or two as well and lobbed it straight into the back of the net over the shoulder of Al Kane, the visiting keeper, who is technically the home keeper, but just for tonight.
So Nottingham score and lead by 2 goals to 1, and that might just settle some nerves at the National Ice Centre. It wasn't the greatest of starts by the Panthers. They did score, but then they were probably just a little bit lax in the first period. But Ryan scored and Nottingham lead. And they come forward once more. Francis and Lakovic try and get it under control, but they can't do so. Then it's picked up by Murray. And then it's picked up by Lakovic, right-hand side, into the offensive zone, across the face of the goal. Can Weaver keep it in? No, he can't. So
good little tip from the keeper there to get it out of the zone. Nice little skills. I just, as I said during the first period, they've got a nice naive approach, which probably does them well in the Spanish league. You know, with their breakout drills and what have you. But we're beyond that. Our systems are at a higher level. It's a bit like racing a very good Ford Fiesta against an Audi TT or something like that. You know.
Well, that's icing. Nottingham leading now.
At least I hope it is.
First game of the night went the Latvians' way. They won by 10 goals to 3 against The Hague. Nottingham leading by 2 goals to 1. I think many in the crowd probably thought there'd be a bigger scoreline than this, but there's not, and Nottingham are coming out quite sharp in this early stages of the second period.
Well, there are some who thought we'd be seeing Dan Green in nets for the second and third period of this one with a big lead in the bag, but they ended that first period with a shock draw. I know in the interval you were talking to my opposite number in Belfast, and he, bless him, didn't even know that the Spanish team were in.
He was surprised. Norton, right-hand side, shoots wide. Had a chance there, it opened up for him.
Tried to bend it like Beckham round the defenseman, didn't he? It doesn't work in ice hockey. Puck tends to travel in a straight line.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen anyone curl a puck before. That would be clever.
Oh, Linger wasn't too bad.
Yeah, I guess so, yeah. It was. So Anderson for Nottingham. Slightly poor pass, and Lee has to go behind his own net and get it. And now Nottingham will come forward. That's going to be icing.
Now, Panthers are going to take part in Movember this year because we're raising funds for prostate cancer research. But I have to ask you, as a neutral, what do you think of Jonathan Boxall's idea of shaving the beard off but leaving the moustache there to give him a head start on everybody?
What now? He's done it now, has he?
Yeah, you look at him when he's next coming down. He's on there now, isn't he?
You can't do that. Actually, I was going to take part in Movember as well, and I'd started to grow it, and then I was told you got to be clean shaven on the 1st of November. So that's going to have to go by the 1st of November.
I'm going to get round it because I'll join in, but I'll just dye it from the 1st of November onwards. No one will see the white one, and then it'll go Hulk Hogan black.
So Wren coming forward. Boxall's up with him. That's a lovely pass. Ryan one-on-one with the netminder, who closes the door. Boxall goes flying into the net, and the referee may have called a penalty here.
Well, the defenseman was upset because Boxall followed in. The whistle hadn't gone. The puck was juggling a little bit on the goalie's chest. Boxy did the right thing, as the coaches would want him to do, just in case it was loose. The defenseman probably did the right thing as far as his coach was concerned, because you don't mess with your keeper right inside the office. But in an international ice hockey federation prescribed game, you're not going to get away with it. So for putting Boxall into the back of the net, he's given Panthers a man advantage, which we hope will lead to the puck going into the back of the net.
Mikael Klipak is the man who goes to the box for 2 minutes. Clark just can't get it going right-hand side, so Weaver will come back into neutral ice. And once more, Nottingham just can't get things moving, but the puck's given away. And now Nottingham will come forward with Wren. Wren spins in a circle, just loses his balance. So it's cleared there by Vitoria-Gasteiz.
The Spanish side are relying on a lot of stick checks to get the puck off the Panthers. You wouldn't get away with that in our physical elite league, but they're pretty good at it. And they've been getting the puck off us.
They've done well.
And our boys aren't used to coming up against teams that whack the stick away, you know.
It's a very different game to an elite league game. Weaver from distance just bounces in front, and Nottingham can't get it under control. It was Ryan who tried to get it down from mid-air. Weaver's one-time pass for Wren. Lovely from Wren for Francis. Francis shoots wide. Nottingham getting the shots on goal now. Kowalski comes out of his goal. 1 minute gone in the power play. It's Weaver who picks it up behind his net. Salters tries to come away from his man, but he can't do so. So Gasteiz shoot, and it's from left-hand side. It was there for Munoz. And then Francis picks it up in his own zone. Francis right-hand side. He's got Benedict up with him. Francis will ring it around the boards, and Lakovic will just work it and work in the right-hand corner. And then it's picked up by Salters. Good movement from Nottingham, but that one's probably rung around the boards a bit too hard, and it comes out to neutral ice where Murray has it. Lakovic once more for Murray. Goes
Last 20 on
side.
the power play.
Here's Francis. Great skills from Francis to come away from his man. Behind the red line, rings it around the boards, and that one will come out once more.
You see, that's the kind of hit on Francis there that I just automatically thought these referees this weekend would call as a hit from behind or charging or whatever.
Well, I think, from memory, we saw that probably in Amiens and Rouen. It was very, very, very sharp. And in terms of GB going away, the last couple of trips they've been there, just pause because Francis is there. But no, penalties galore on GB's trip. Shot comes in from Henley. But Nottingham staying out the box at the moment. Great work from the Panthers here. It's been a strong shift. And now Henley has it left-hand side into the netting. And there will be a face-off in the offensive zone.
Good pressure from the Panthers as we approach the 25-minute mark. Momentum building, going in their way. They've grabbed the lead right at the start of this period with Matt Ryan adding to that Chris Murray goal. We were looking at the replays and thought there might have been a tip for Lee Salters on that, but there's been no change down at the timekeeper's bench. So it's still Murray and Ryan to give Panthers a 2-1 lead over the Spanish champions.
I thought Ryan was being thrown out of the face-off, but no, it's a player from Vitoria-Gasteiz. And Ryan will go down for the Panthers, and he comes out second best actually, and Nottingham with 15 minutes on the clock in the second period have some defending to do, but now they will go on the attack. There's two players coming forward. Boxall's one of them. He's going to get the puck back, is he just now? No, he's not, and there could be a breakaway here. But that's great work from Tom Norton. Very skilled and clever work from him, just using a bit of strength
He
there,
was
really.
so quick out of the blocks, saw the danger and made sure he got his body the right side of the green-shirted Spaniard player.
It's clever play from Tom Norton. Back with the Panthers now, of course, after a few years of plying his trade in the EPL. 14:20 on the clock in the second period to go in this second period. Benedict now into the offensive zone. Clark's a trading man on the right-hand side, and Clark will play it off the backboards for Benedict. Benedict has a look up, goes one way, then the other. Looks for Clark. Clark will pick it up and take up the work behind the net. And then it is just worked around the boards, and then it's out once more. Panthers getting a lot of possession in the last 2 or 3 minutes, but not really getting big chances on goal. Anderson doing the work now for Nottingham. Anderson in the corner, and he just gets it to Clark. Clark will just float it, slightly careless though, not a great pass to Caprero. Kowalski will just pick it up, and him and Anderson just wait to see who's going to be the man on it, but it doesn't matter now because Salters looks for Sari, and that's just offside.
Ambitious, but it was worth the effort, wasn't it? You never know, Yunus Sari might have been able to get going. One of the Vitoria players is just coming back onto the bench. He's been down the corridor for a walk. He's still holding his side. The physio's been giving him the magic sponge and what have you, and Panthers have possession in their own zone.
And it was with Murray, a bit careless now, man out in front, and it's saved by Kowalski. That's been Nottingham's probably problem. When they've been careless, the Spaniards have pounced and had a few chances and scored from one, and they have it once more. It's good work. And the puck comes and just takes a few deflections, so it goes behind the net of Craig Kowalski. 13 minutes to go in the second period, and Nottingham will now try and get moving with Lakovic and Sari. There's a collision in centre ice. Two players fall over, two players lose their sticks, but they've got them back again. That one's given away once more, and Kowalski makes a save. Shot coming in there from McIntosh.
John Weaver was absolutely disgusted with himself. You could see it written all over the Mackham's face afterwards. What am I doing? It was a reminiscent pass of the one we had last week when the Coventry goalie passed it straight out front to Lynn Loynes. I think it's just a question of getting the edge going and getting that momentum back that was there at the start of the the period. One thing you can't criticise these Spanish champions for is they're working hard, they're getting their legs moving, they're doing the very best they can, and they're only a goal to the bad.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think if they, and that one could be a delay of the game. Has it gone straight out and over? Doesn't look like the officials are in. Oh yeah, they are. Nottingham are going to go on the penalty kill. That was just lifted straight out by Bogren, wasn't it? And into the crowd.
He tried to argue that it had clipped the glass, but once it was called, he went straight to the away team penalty box because Panthers are the away team tonight. So now those hard-working Spaniards have a power play opportunity to try and tie the game up. I don't know that I think we just got Tom Norton back when they scored their first goal, so it wasn't technically a power play.
But they are on the PP once more, and it is Nottingham will have to do some start defending, and it is snuffed out by the Panthers. And now Anderson, the D-man, very far forward, jumps into the play, and Panthers will just use this opportunity just to ice the puck into the offensive zone and then take a quick change of a couple of players and personnel. You've got Lee and Anderson there on the defensive duties. Ryan comes on now, and the shot comes in. It's more of a dump, really, let's be honest. Panthers fans turn up the noise and support their team, but it is Vitoria who are just working the walls, moving it around. 11:50 to go. It's not kept in the zone. Bravo, though, has to come out the zone and go for Bauer. Bauer looks again once more and goes right-hand side. Could have been too many men for a moment there. Lakovic jumped on and then luckily jumped straight off again. Nice pass there from Benedict. Oh, and he hits the pipes. It's Ryan. That must be 6 or 7 times now. Ryan had time. He almost floated it. He hit the left-hand post, and Nottingham come close to making it 3-1. But now there's a bit of momentum for the Spanish who shoot, and Henley gets there to the first chance to get to the puck. And this time it's the Spanish who nearly have too many men. Murray and Kowalski just about get on the same wavelength, and now Nottingham have Lakovic. Lakovic just goes to the far side for Henley, who takes his time. Henley, that's a decent pass, maybe a little too hard. Francis can't control. 5 seconds to go. This power play is coming to an end, and the Nottingham Panthers have killed that one well. A couple of opportunities for the Spanish, and as you hear Steph Litchfield announce, they're back to full strength. And we're nearly halfway through the second period, and Nottingham leading by 2-1. Henley goes in big in the corner. Francis works and just takes the benefit of Henley's work in the corner. Comes out nicely. Boxall controls it with his glove. Tries to come forward the right-hand side, but Boxall gives it away, so Nottingham will have to go again. Then they have to be defensive for the moment. The man on the right-hand side tries to get it under control. It was McIntosh, I think. Shot in the end comes in from the right-hand side. It's loose in front of the net. Kowalski loses his stick. And once more, there's chances for the Spanish. Now it is Nottingham coming forward with Boxall. Wren goes left-hand side. Wren into the offensive zone. Just waits for some support. Rings it around the boards for Boxall. Boxall uses some strength just on the boards. He's held up. Panthers fans in that section of the crowd want a holding penalty, but it doesn't come. And now into the offensive zone come the Spanish once more with Munoz. And Anderson works hard in the corner. Nottingham, will they get it away? They can't do so this time. Over halfway through the game, and Nottingham leading by 2-1.
I'm almost tempted to say that being on the away team bench has really disturbed them on the line changes and everything more than they anticipated it would. I mean, Corey asked me about it as late as Friday and said, oh, I didn't realise that. And he had been told many times before that, in writing and verbally. But, you know, at the risk of sounding like a broken record, we're better than the Spaniards. They're doing brilliantly, they're working really hard. But when Panthers get their legs going, there's no comparison.
Capero into the offensive zone. Benedict tries to move things further forward. That's going to be icing. 9:08 to go, second period.
Good to see Craig Kowalski really concentrating there. There's a nothing clearance down the ice, but he got down, he made sure the post was completely covered, and that led to the icing whistle, because had he played it, obviously, it wouldn't have been an icing whistle. So Panthers get a face-off. deep in enemy territory, and it's time to deal with the Spanish Armada, methinks.
Well, it would be nice for the Panthers to get a couple more goals sooner rather than later. You never know when goal difference might come into this tournament.
Well, you'd have to have 3 teams tied, and it would be quite a way down the list, isn't it? When we were knocked out on goal difference that year, you didn't have a result. We had a draw.
Yeah, the rules were different. We played a penalty shootout, but it was just in case lots of things got ticked off and the teams were still level. Because actually Nottingham beat Milan that day on the shootout, didn't they?
If you say so, Chris. I've seen an awful lot of hockey in my miserable life, and I can't remember.
That wasn't.
You had to remind me during the week on the phone that we actually. I knew we hadn't lost a game, but then I didn't understand it because I remember there being a shootout of some kind.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Maybe my age is showing, and I'm getting.
We lost a lot of guys through injury in that first game.
Taverden, Madosco, Moran. I think that was just 3. Norton in his own zone. Picked up by Boxall. Boxall goes for Ryan. Ryan into the offensive zone. Tries to go round his man. Can't do so. It's covered up. And it's 2-1.
Pats all round. Nothing offensive happening there. We've had 31 minutes and 44 seconds. Panthers have got their noses back in front straight off the bat at the start of the second. I don't think they're in any danger, Chris.
Don't think so. Mind you, England against Poland, you never felt England were in much danger Tuesday night, and then a few times Poland opened England up and it was quite nervy. Nearly 8 minutes left then, just ticking down to the 8-minute mark to go in period 2. And Weaver has it. Caprero goes for Benedict, who rings it around the boards. So Nottingham will go in and chase. The Spanish will try and clear. They can't. Caprero, lovely pass. Benedict in the slot. And it's touched in. The final touch from Clark. And the captain scores. And with 7:49 to go in period 2, it is Panthers leading by 3-1.
32-11 gone. Nice goal by the Panthers. Nice little interplay. Nice little work with the puck. And then it was David Clark, the captain there, just to put the back of the stick down, angle it the right way, and turn it in behind Al Kane, the keeper for Vitoria-Gasteiz. Panthers get a 2-goal cushion for the first time in the Continental Cup.
And the fans are up on their feet, they're dancing. They're happy now. Nottingham may now just begin to take control of this game on the scoreboard. And David Clark scores his first goal of the tournament. Probably the one of only a couple of members that played for Panthers. In fact, he'll be the only member that played in both tournaments. The one in Amiens, the one in Rouen. Corey Nielsen would have played in Rouen. Lakovic coming away for the Panthers. Right-hand side. Has he got support? He might go himself. Didn't really get full control of that one. Francis is there. Salters is in front of the net. Backhand from Francis. Lakovic now for Salters. Salters on the boards. He's held up. He's battling. He's hustling. And Lakovic goes in and helps out. 7 minutes to go in period 2. Nottingham leading by 3-1. We see a bit of a coming together here. Salters. Well, we'll look at the play before going back to that. Francis rings it around the boards. It's a Spanish player and Salters came together. Salters not happy about something. Sorry for Anderson. Anderson shoots. It comes off the skate of a Atari defenseman. And Nottingham getting so much possession at the moment, Gary.
Yeah, Tommy Manaman's leg was the spoiler there on the shot on target from the GMB Panthers. Less than 6.5 minutes to go this period. Stretch pass is just deflected and then Panthers are caught offside. So they can't mount on the momentum that was coming. I think the Spanish guy accidentally ran into, on the blind side, Lee Salters there, and Lee Salters took exception to it. Wasn't expecting it in a game like this. And I think the linesman grabbed hold of him and just said, whoa, 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 calm down. It wasn't meant, it was an accident sort of thing. You wouldn't want to argue with Lee Salters, would
I
you?
don't think you want to argue with Lee Salters on the ice or off the ice. Henley for the Panthers, coming forward, left-hand side into the offensive zone, dumps it in on net, and he'll go and chase his own dump, and he's probably going to get that one and get that one away, is he? No, he's not. So he's out of position, but it's Benedict who's dropped back, isn't it, into a defensive position. And then it's picked up by Caprero, who rings it around the boards, and Clark is there, right-hand side. Now
Caprero
Henley.
playing his first game back, remember, after injury. He's looking quite sharp out there. He's moving well.
He is looking sharp for a first game back from injury, as you say. In terms of the next round, I know we're jumping the gun, but a hypothetical question at this stage. It brings a lot of prestige, a third round, one step away from a super final. I guess it brings you a little fixture headache, doesn't it?
It does, but the next round's not too much of a problem because it takes place when we're due to play Murrayfield here on the Saturday and we don't have a Sunday game. And I've already made a provision to move the Murrayfield game to midweek on the Wednesday when hopefully it's our homecoming because we've claimed a place in the super final.
Yeah.
Now that is wishful thinking and getting ahead of himself.
It's Asiago for round 3 and already waiting in the final are Rouen and Danex. Not sure why it's being held in Rouen because Danex won the Continental Cup last year. I was just trying to clarify that with Andy French earlier. But it is going to be in Rouen, obviously where Panthers have been.
It sometimes depends on whether the teams want to play it or not, whether they want to host it or not, whether they think the facility's up to standards or whether they've got the hotel support and all the rest of it.
Ryan for Boxall. Boxall's been busy. A lot of ice time in this game. Out in front for Ryan. Oh, just can't get that pass away. Ryan was coming in close. Oh, it's great work from Boxall again once more. Wins that puck. Really clever play. But unfortunately, it is the Spaniards who managed to win the puck. And Bravo shoots from the blue line and Kowalski makes a save.
And he was well outside the blue paint. Any budding netminders, just watch that one. Look at his position. If you're that far out of your net and you're shooting from the high slot as the Spanish player was doing, there's nothing to shoot at except the chest of the goalie. There's no corners, there's no bottom corners, there's nothing to shoot at. It's all about angles.
Anderson has it for the GMB Panthers behind the net, and Lee rings it around the boards, and again it just bobbles the wrong way for Nottingham. Francis will try and work it right hand side. Gasteiz coming forward on their right now. Lee does a good hit to free up Salters. Salters left hand side. Just is hit for his troubles, nothing called there. Letting a lot go, the referees, as Gary mentioned in this tournament. And now Nottingham have it with Lee once more. Gives it to Anderson, right hand side. Anderson into the neutral zone. Slightly missed time from Salters, so Gasteiz will come forward left hand side and then right hand side, but that's snuffed out by Stevie Lee. And Lee will give it to Anderson. Anderson right hand side. Benedict now neutral, comes away from his man into the offensive zone. Caprero back for Benedict. Benedict right hand side for Caprero off the backboards. Clark has it left hand side. And that one's cleared by Gasteiz. 3:45 to go. Period 2. Lovely play from Benedict. Clark one-on-one with the netminder, and he gets his second of the night. You knew the moment he got the puck and he was clear, he was going to score. Goal number 2 for David Clark. The GMB Panthers 4, Vitoria-Gasteiz 1.
36-18 gone when Panthers stole into enemy territory that time. They had 2 men wide open. Clarkey could have dished it. He chose to shoot it, and it went into the back of the net. Panthers lead by 3.
David Clark then with his second goal. Good movement by the Panthers, well worked. Crowder on their feet. First of 3 games for the Panthers, of course. 4-team tournament. Nottingham probably won't top the group tonight. Well, you never know. There's still a period and 3 minutes to go. They need another few goals. Caprero with the assist on Clark's goal. It was good play from him. Boxall now, right hand side. Rings it around the boards. And Henley jumps in. Henley's been playing very offensive so far in this game. Wren behind the net for the Panthers. Referee falls over. Wren goes one way, then the other, and then leaves it for Boxall. Boxall comes out in front. Would he give it to Norton? No, he'll ring it around the boards for Ryan. Ryan suddenly has room, has a look up, gives it to Henley who shoots, rebound. Boxall gets there. The netminder goes down and makes a save. Chances for the Panthers galore now. They really are beginning to turn the screw here. 2:45 to go, period 2. G&B Panthers lead 4-1.
The referee really should be more careful. You know, we make that ice slippy side up.
I think the officiating's been good so far. I've enjoyed the way that they've let things go.
I don't think there's been a lot to call in this game. I was surprised, as we've said, don't want to harp on about it, but was surprised at the way it was called in the other game. And then there was a bad hit, I thought, which could have been called, wasn't. Hague player went in and said, hey, you shouldn't be doing that. And he called it in such a way that it ended up in a... It ended up in a bit of a retribution call, and it led to a 5-on-3, and that cracked the game open.
Yeah,
and
it
finished
did.
it as a contest.
Salters is going to the box here, isn't he?
Yeah, the guy cross-checked him, not very hard, but he cross-checked him in the back earlier on the play, and Salts just decided, I'm sick of this, they're buzzing around me, and it's like I can't do anything. And you know, Coach Corey Nielsen's on record as saying he's worried about our, as he calls them, big monsters, Henley and Salters, not being able to cope with the referees. So he just decided, well, he's cross-checked me, I'm going to cross-check him. But he probably bench presses 3 times what the Spanish kid weighed, and he flew across the ice, and the referee immediately said, leave it to the Spanish player, like he was going to go and challenge Lee Salters. But Panthers on penalty kill duty.
Well, Manama goes down for that face-off, and Gasteiz end up with the puck. So they're on the power play for the 3rd time tonight. Sosa battling in this corner. And once more he has it. And Nottingham might have a break here, because that is a very quick Rob Lakovic trying to get to the puck. They do have possession once more. Effectively, the hosts here, the Spaniards, will end the period on the power play. Nottingham ice the puck from Stevie Lee, one end of the ice to the other. And Lakovic will go in. He's got Francis up with him. Francis will go towards the net. Bit of an opening here for Nottingham. But Gasteiz come forward at the other end with McIntosh, who used to play with Tyler Michelle, formerly of Cardiff, of course, and Sheffield Steelers. Francis now into the offensive zone. Murray. Oh, Murray was just stopped at the last moment. Shot comes in this time from Benedict. And then the netminder goes down. He's going down like he's been shot, but I don't think anything really happened, but he has gone down. 1:12 to go.
He might want out of this one. He's seen the tides turned. I didn't see any of our boys doing anything there. If anything, I thought it was a stick in a Bipolo's player hand.
Well, let's hope he's okay.
He's dropped his own stick behind the net. You know, sometimes the stick gets caught in the netting and they almost butt end themselves.
Certainly seemed innocuous, and he is slowly getting to the ice, I think.
Yeah, he's all right.
And the NIC crowd give a warm round of applause. So 1 minute and 1 to go on Salter's penalty. And Benedict will go down for this face-off for Nottingham. Got Clark to his right. He gets his stick on that, but it squirts behind the net.
Now, don't forget we're still killing a penalty, so we're just trying to pop the puck down the ice.
About to go 5-on-3 here as well. Picked up by Murray, and when it's touched by Murray, and Nottingham will be short-handed for 47 seconds. And Henley is going to the box for a high stick.
So double man advantage for the Spanish. This is where the coach earns his corn. Because when you got a 2-man advantage for 47 seconds, you should have something up your sleeve that's going to produce a full house. Aces over kings.
Well, Bauer's the man going down for the face-off. And what have they got? Well, we're going to see. Well, what are we going to see now? Well, there's going to be a one-man change for the Panthers. Murray's going off. Benedict is coming on. And Barrow is going to go down with Benedict.
I think that line change there with Benedict coming on was as much because we've been thrown out the face-off circle. We didn't have a draw man left on the ice.
Shot's got to come in from right side. It doesn't in the end. Klapak is the man now at left point, top of the left circle. Bauer then in the left circle. Klapak and Bauer exchange passes. Bauer wants more. Klapak looks to shoot. Bauer in the left circle once more. Not really a lane to shoot at the moment. Klapak has it, and Benedict does well. That's good penalty killing by the Panthers, and a significant chunk of the 40-plus seconds has been eaten up. And I don't think the Spaniards are going to get much chance to get another shot on goal on the 5-on-3, especially. Maybe they'll get one more chance. Bauer, left-hand side. Klapak and Bauer, they're the men working it. Comes right-hand side, and it hits the base of the post. It's deflected, and it goes wide. And Panthers at that moment get back to 4 men. 9.8 to go in the period.
And 73 seconds to go, the 5-on-4 power play to the Spanish champions. They're actually playing a lovely complex if you look it up on the internet. I mean, the ring's a very small ring.
700 seats, yeah.
Yeah. But there's a lovely swimming pool, there's a big outdoor area, big gym and what have you. It's the kind of place that you and I would frequent quite happily on our holidays, Chris.
What, if we went together?
No. No.
I read from their article on their website that the championship game, they got people locked out and they were watching over the road as well on a big screen. Such was the interest. The team only formed in 2012. End of the period though, and Nottingham beginning to edge away with this one, leading by 4-1.
Score so far reads Wicklow 1. Any noise for the home team? Wicklow victory.
Dan Green takes over in nets for the Jimby Nottingham Panthers with 20 minutes to go in this one and 63 seconds to go on the penalty kill. Panthers now out shooting the Spanish side by 23 shots to 12 so far, and I think the tide has definitely turned.
Yeah, I think so. The team from Spain have put up a great fight. I got to be honest, and it's been a lot closer than I thought. I think these guys have played out of their skin. I think everyone will agree that Nottingham have been a bit careless at times, but they've never been in trouble. They've never been under any real pressure. And I think we'll see a very different Nottingham the next night and the night after that, when it could be a winner takes all. But we'll wait and see. We're only in the early stages of the tournament. Riga look like they're going to be top come the first night and the end of the first day.
The whole bench at Nottingham can give us 2 for flinching there, because that clearance clipped the bench just above the Trent Bridge sign and it went back like a wave.
Final few seconds of the power play, in fact 20 of them, and Francis will clear down the ice, and Nottingham will have a break here with Lakovic. He's got a defenseman to beat. Oh, he takes it around him, but doesn't really get away from him. The defenseman does the work. Been impressed with Robert Lakovic on the one-on-ones this year. A couple of goals already like that. Impressive, eh, Gary?
Yeah, he's been good, but the goalie did well there. He got the big paddle out, made a nuisance of himself and turned it aside.
So Henley coming back, sees Panthers go back to full strength. Bauer takes a shot, and a first piece of action for Dan Green in this game. Green in for Kowalski. Kowalski faced 12 shots in 2 periods. Ryan now coming forward, left-hand side, tries to drive towards the net. Picked up by Boxall behind the net. And then it's just cleared, but not out of the zone. Murray gloves it down, keeps it in the zone for Nottingham, but then the Spaniards will come forward now with McIntosh. Wren has it. Goes left-hand side for Ryan. Chris passing by Nottingham. Into the offensive zone comes Boxall. Boxall goes behind the net while Nottingham take a line change. Caprero steps on the ice. Benedict too. And Boxall does his job, and Nottingham get their line change complete with Clark. Benedict then has it behind the net. Benedict waits for a moment. Out in front. Shot! And that's a lovely goal from Caprero. It bounces in off the pipes, I think. And Nottingham score and lead by 5-1. And the man returning from injury, Caprero, gets goal number 5.
Supervision from the Jimby Panthers. Heads up play from Brandon Benedict. Who's free? Who's free? Who wants it? Chris Caprero was in the slot. Heads up play from him. Took the pass. One-timed it. Cookie jar off the top shelf. Panthers lead by an extra goal. 5-1.
Well, to me, that was work by Jonathan Boxhill, who took the puck behind the net, was just patient and patient, while Nottingham got David Clark coming on. I think it was Boxhill who went off for Clark, and it was just well worked. Boxhill held it up, allowed some fresh legs on the ice, and Caprero scores his first goal of the tournament.
Well, Panthers have killed off that power play at the start of this period. Dan Green's had one half save to make, and at the other end, Panthers have scored arguably the best goal of the night.
Yeah, absolutely. Well worked, good finish. Dan Green there making a save at the other end. Now Nottingham may run up the scoreboard in this period now. You just feel the tide is turning. You see the Spanish side are tiring. I mean, what a turnaround for them. They thought they were going to play Spanish league action at the weekend. I went on their website and saw that they had to move a game. Oh, there's a man loose in front of the net, and they score, and it is now 5-2, and it is Nottingham who concede. I think it's Juan Monons who scores, and Green concedes, and Nottingham have their lead cut to 5-2.
42-27 gone. The puck was right in front, and the kid went upstairs, and Dan Green dropped down, and it went over his shoulder, and it's a 5-2 scoreline, as you rightly say. But there's only one side going to win this one.
But it is goal number 2 for them, and they will be happy with their night's work. They probably would have known they had their work cut out to do something tonight. And it is Munoz. I think Steph probably pronounces it slightly better than me.
I wouldn't bet on it.
Salters behind the net. Has a look out in front. He's not got many options, so he goes himself and then keeps it in the zone, I think. No. Oh, yeah, he does. Oh, great work from Salters there.
No, he had to hold up, Chrissy. We had to come out.
Oh, yes, he did. You're right, yeah. That's why everyone did come out. Francis. But it was good work from him. Salters. Working the wall. And that one is kept in the zone. And then Francis goes towards the back door where Lakovic is going towards the net. Salters has it. Then Lakovic right-hand side behind the net for Salters. Salters just leaves it for Anderson. Anderson shoots, pad save. And it's snuffed out by Lee. Lee into the offensive zone. Goes right-hand side. Does he have a lane to shoot? There's a man on the doorstep. And Sari comes charging in. Weaver will go into his own zone and pick the puck up. 16:30 to go.
Steve Lee did well there. He went and got his own interception after he punched it forward. And also his line mate, I didn't see who it was. As Panthers shoot one off the side netting, tipped by Sari on the blast from Chris Murray. His teammate chose not to play it because it would have been a hand pass in the opposite end of the ice, over the halfway line. Clever play, and it kept the flow going for Nottingham. Sadly, didn't come to a goal, but it was a little bit of intelligent hockey from the Nottingham Panthers.
That's good to see, and the longer this tournament goes on, the more intelligent they will have to be. 15:50 on the clock to go in the third period. And Wren comes forward, right-hand side now. That's offside. Just didn't quite get that one right, did Ryan Ansari?
Yeah, linesman Young blows the whistle. I think it's linesman Perry going over to pick the puck up, and he'll drop it. Could have been the other way round. I'm not quite sure from this distance. They wear stripy shirts. It looks like a migraine to me from here. Or is that what they give you?
Norton flashes across the crease of Dan Green, picked up by Caprero. And then the shot comes in from McIntosh. And now Nottingham will try and go forward right-hand side. Norton has it in his own zone for Henley. Henley back to Norton. Clark will just try and move it forward, but can't get things motoring for the Panthers. So can they come again now with Norton, who has it neutral zone, goes into his own zone with Henley. Henley off the left boards, good pass to Salters. Salters will drive towards the net. It's loose in front of the net for the moment. Lakovic has an opening because the netminder gets caught behind the net. It was a tight angle though for Lakovic, and he can't get his shot on target. Hits the side netting, but the netminder was struggling to get up there.
Lee Salter's not happy with our referee from Poland. I think he had every right to think that, because his worry is he gets penalised for being a big, strong man and doing what anyone else would do, but because he's so strong, it has a bigger impact on the other player. And then players are wrapping themselves around him and rugby tackling him, and nothing's being given.
Scoreboard says 5-2. Nottingham on their way to their first victory, you'd think, of the tournament in their first game. Tomorrow it is The Hague. That's offside.
Yeah, less than 15 minutes to go now, Chris. Little bit of a discussion around the halfway line. Salters and Ryan. Little bit of verbals. I noticed the Spanish bench was getting quite loud. Not chirpy, but just, hey, we're back in this. There's only 3 goals in it. No, they're not back in it. That's the truth of the matter, but it gives any team a lift when they score a goal.
No, absolutely. They will be happy with their work so far. Only realised they were playing in the tournament, what, Tuesday in the end, Wednesday?
It was all confirmed Wednesday morning.
Yeah.
They knew everyone was talking to them through Tuesday, and there was a hint of it on Monday. But you know, when you've sold around 1,500 3-day tickets, and all those people are expecting 2 games, you know, and another 500 or so, 600, 800, 700 on different days, single day tickets to get 2 games.
Yeah. It would have been a nightmare, wouldn't it? A logistical nightmare if there'd only been 3 teams in the tournament.
A very senior member of the personnel here did say to me, well, it's just a PR exercise if it goes that way. We'll leave that to you. Thanks.
That would have been a tough one to try and...
PR exercise.
Anderson, right-hand side. Flashes across the front of the net, so Nottingham will have to come out of the zone.
There are some simple passes available, and we seem to be trying to thread the eye of the camel at the moment.
Does feel that way. Anderson, though, that's a good pass for Ryan. Ryan in the slot and just shoots wide. Nottingham have some defending to do now. But they do that, but 2 players get in the way of each other. One is Clark, the other one is Stevie Lee. And then that one's lifted into the penalty bench. But it's not going to be delay of the game because it hit the plexi and went into the home team box.
Well, it hit the glass twice. Brandon played it off the boards, and then it bent over and landed on the top of the glass, and then came this way and nearly hit Carol Howarth, who's grabbed the puck and given it as a souvenir to a young kid aged about 27 on the front row. He's got a moustache and a beard, and he's going to have to shave that off and start again for Movember.
Well, he'll be very happy with his puck, I'm sure. I always like those rare times when fans have come for the first time and they get the puck and they chuck it back in, and you just think, you could have had that, mate. You just don't know. I've not seen it for a while. Clark trying to go towards the net, but he can't. Murray just gets it lost, so here come Gasteiz into the offensive zone. It's loose in front of the net. I think Green actually made a save there. Caprero coming forward left-hand side, dumps it in and goes for a line change. 12:40 to go in the game, and GMB Panthers leading by 5-2.
Yeah, Dan Green made a good save in that he covered his angles and what have you. It was the rebound that was bouncing around like a firecracker. Panthers are getting a penalty.
Yeah, Lakovic bumped into the ref there, totally by accident, but just gave him a bit of a shove because he got in his way. But it's Francis that's going in. He's going to sit for 2 minutes, and Nottingham will be on the penalty kill again.
Yeah, 2 minutes for slashing against the Panthers. It comes at 47-31. Might get a little bit squeaky if they were to convert this power play.
Are you here with the GMB Nottingham Panthers?
So, more penalty killing duties for the GMB Panthers. And they do win that draw. And it is going to be Anderson who'll just come away with the puck. But I think Anderson's going to get done for a high stick here. tried to just break free from his man, and that man goes down, and the ref comes over to look for blood, and it is 2 minutes for high stick. 1:52 of 5-on-3, a second 5-on-3 for Vitali in the game.
Panthers only 8 seconds into the 5-on-4 kill. Now they've upgraded it to a 5-on-3 kill. We've got 12:21 to go in the game.
Well, let's see what Vitoria-Gasteiz can do on this power play. Bauer goes down. Seen a lot of the ice. Bauer, in one of their better players. Sosa as well, I've been impressed with. But penalty kill duty now for the Panthers. Benedict is a man who's chasing the puck on that left-hand side. And it is plenty of room for Gasteiz on the ice. Shot comes in but goes wide of the right-hand post. It was Gavaliz. And now it was Bravak shoot, and it charged down. Nottingham get it away. Good work from Nottingham. Lakovic will chase after it, and he wins that race as well. Great work from Bobby Lakovic. And then he'll just hold it in the corner. It's going to take 3 players to try and get the puck away. Eventually they do. It was Oravec, but Lakovic gets a great cheer from the Panthers fans, and rightly so, Gary.
Yeah, very much so. And then there was just a danger that they were going to get in 2-on-1, and the guy took the big shot from the far side, when if he'd slid it across it would have been a better opportunity. And Dan Green did well to cover the first shot.
He did. Shot
And
comes
again.
in once more from Bravo this time, and bravo Dan Green, he makes the save.
And Brent Henley's taking the mickey. He really was taking the mickey of the little kid there. He pushed him away and then put his hand up to protect himself. 11 minutes exactly to go, so we've had 49 minutes of the game. Panthers still with 31 seconds before they get one man back, and a further 9 seconds before the other returns to the ice.
Manamar to go down for this face-off for the Spanish, and it's won though by Benedict, and Benedict will try and just ice the puck. He does do so. Crowd appreciate that. This has been a good 5-on-3 penalty kill by the Panthers.
Still 20 seconds to go, but it's been, as you say, almost textbook, almost coaching manual stuff.
Final 5 seconds off the 5-on-3. There's a lane to shoot from, but Green makes the save. Goes down, gets part of his body on it and does well. And the Panthers are going to get it, are they, with Francis? It's ice, but there's still only one man down.
Everyone back.
And now they're back to full strength. So that was a good kill by the GMB Nottingham Panthers. Only 10 minutes, just over to go in the game. Francis tries to come away. Bravo gets it. Goes round Henley, does he? No, Henley stands firm, but then Bravo does get it once more. And Clark finishes his hit on the boards. And then does another one. Just holding play in the corner. Lee there as well. And 2 Spanish players fall over there. And now it's this time it's Henley battling in the corner. And lots of big hits going in. Referee letting them go. And Clark will come away with the puck. And it could be a 3-on-1 break for the Panthers, but they go for a bit of a line change. But now Clark comes away looking for his hat trick. Oh, just can't get it under control. And then Clark has it left-hand side. Oh, nice pass behind the net for Caprero. And Stevie Lee will jump into the play. Off the backboards, looking for Salters. 9:20 to go. 5-2 to Nottingham. Coming forward down the right-hand side are Gasteiz. And again, the puck's loose in front of the net. It's perhaps not controlled well, but Nottingham will come away with it. Salters, left-hand side, into the offensive zone now. Shoots, side netting.
I think it just clipped the butt end of the goalie's stick as well on the way there. You might like to count that as a save.
Maybe they will.
No, they won't, because the goal judge hasn't moved. He hasn't made a little mark in his book.
Salters will just dump it in and then go for a line change.
Coaches are picking the man of the matches in this tournament.
Given away to Anderson there. Anderson some space. Surely he's going to shoot. Anderson does. Yeah, home team, coaches for their own team. That's the way I think it works at IIHF tournaments.
Yeah.
I remember a GB game here, one of those warm-up games a few years ago against the Netherlands, I think, and I was the one with the responsibility of going around to both coaches, and I remember thinking, kind of an unusual one. You'd maybe think that coaches would choose the other one, wouldn't they? But
yeah, do you know, I like the idea of a coach picking his own man of the match because he knows the ins and outs. He knows who's been fighting off a cold all week.
Yeah,
he knows who's playing in the wrong, who's helped to. He knows who's stirred them up in the locker room and all the rest of it. I'd be surprised if the Spaniards go anywhere but the goalie, even though he's let 5 goals in.
No, he's certainly given them a respectable scoreline at the moment. I think I said earlier, Barrow's played well. Murray shoots from right point, and again, netminder goes down and makes a save. The stretch pass there, but it's waved off. The icing is waved off. Panthers fans voiced their displeasure.
It was blatant icing, wasn't it? It's just blatant.
Klepak is the man on defensive duties, and it's dumped in but picked up by Weaver. Weaver doesn't really deal with it, so Gasteiz still have it behind the net, but Weaver does make amends, and then Murray has it in the corner. Gasteiz, though, working it behind the net quite well, but Benedict goes back and helps out, and now Nottingham come forward with Caprero. Caprero will just touch it into the offensive zone, and Nottingham go for a line change.
Cappy's had a good workout tonight for a first game back.
It's
been a perfect game for that. Missed the weekend last week, trying to nurse a strain back into the lineup.
Well, we're going to see Henley going for... Has the ref decided? He's going for high stick, Henley. 2 minutes for a high stick.
He's 6'7", something like that.
I think 6'7", isn't he?
And the guy went down on one knee because of the pressure of the contact that he put on him. And then he's got the stick below his waist, and he's gone for high sticks.
Yeah, that's probably a tough one for him to take. Klepak has it. Shot comes in from left side, and it is 5-3. And they do score on the power play, and they go and celebrate with the players on the bench. And with 6:40 to go in the game, it is goal number 3 for the Spanish champions, and it is a 2-goal game.
53-20 gone, and we're on a 2-goal spread, as you say, Chris. It was a good power play goal. Panthers weren't moving their feet. The Spaniards got it to the back door. The guy was wide open. He blasted it low. Greener didn't do anything about it. Defence didn't do anything about it. Forwards didn't do anything about it. Brent Henley gets off the naughty step, but we're down to a 2-goal spread.
I think the goal's going to go to Galadez. Galadez, it is, who scored that goal. Lakovic had a chance there straight from the face-off. Salters is the man working. Now Francis. Francis goes towards the back door for Lakovic. Lakovic, and now Anderson wants it. Anderson shoots wide. Nottingham keep it in the zone. And that's Francis who keeps it in the zone. And Salters with the hit on the boards. It's legal. A big hit, which delights the crowd. Sosa comes away with it. And then it is Stevie Lee who just has it for Francis, and Francis dumped it in for Lakovic.
See, I don't get that, Chris, because, I mean, that was interference at very least. Steve Salter was frustrated. The guy had been pulling his shirt, he'd been tugging him, been hooking him, he'd been hauling him. Nothing from the referee. So he sorted it out himself. He puts the bloke on his backside, and the referee says, clean it.
Don't think he'll be complaining about that.
I'm not complaining about it. I'm just saying it's bizarre.
Clark has it. Caprero now, back for Clark. Clark's going to come away from his man, and he'll go right-hand side. Then he'll have to just keep it in the zone, and actually comes back to him now in the slot, and it's just deflected wide. A push from Clark to try and get that puck. Of the Spanish side, Gary played better than you perhaps thought when you were coming into this tournament.
I think they've just worked their socks off. And when you work hard, you get luck, you get bounces. The puck hits your posts. It hits the butt end of the goalie stick when everyone on the ice is working hard. It's just a fact of life. Hard work breeds good luck.
Yeah.
And they've deserved some luck tonight.
They've absolutely. I think they've deserved. I mean, Nottingham, they'll go away probably disappointed with the scoreline and the performance, but the crucial thing is they've got 3 points on the board and they'll be away in the tournament.
Win's a win.
Yeah. And 4:47 on the clock. We say a win's a win. There is 4:47 to go. So let's not count the chickens yet in Nottingham's favour. Boxall coming forward, right-hand side. You do feel, though, Nottingham do have gears to step up if they really need to. Boxall now left-hand side. It's behind the net. It's Ryan. Ryan one way, then the other. Good play from Ryan, but Lakovic was late coming towards the puck, and the pass went astray. Gasteiz into the offensive zone. It's a hit on the boards. It's loose in front of the net for a moment, but it's going to be got away, and Nottingham will come forward.
How is that not hooking? How is that not stick work?
Boxall shoots wide. I mean, to be fair, the refs let a lot go all game. So, but yeah, you would expect these ones to be called. But the one thing you will say, he's probably let a lot go.
There is another aspect of the whole game. Panthers are better. They are superior. They have worked hard. Sometimes you pull a move and the other player is lower than your standard to the extent that he doesn't fall for the move. So when you come back, it's like the double deke. You deke the goalie this way, you come back the other way, then you go back because you've caught him out, and he's still standing where he was in the first place. So sometimes you can be too good for an opposition. There's motivation, there's complacency. As long as you win, and you come out of this with a win, that's got the Continental Cup campaign off to a winning start.
Absolutely. And that's what it's all about. It's wins in a tournament. 3 wins in this tournament, and Nottingham will be through to the third round, and they'll be going to Asiago. It's a lovely place, Asiago. I've been once before.
I'm surprised they're letting you back.
Nottingham getting a chance on net with Benedict. There's a really nice, just pause for a moment, because Caprero, great move in front of the net. Oh, and then the goal was opening up for him, and he just managed to lose control, and it went wide. Benedict can't get things going. Now Sosa, the other end. Sosa goes round his man, but then falls over, and that man is Stevie Lee, so he manages to get the puck to the right-hand side, finishes his hit, and then Benedict gets it out the zone. And then there's another big hit, centre right, and the man goes down. It looked clean from first instant, and the man, though, worryingly hasn't got up at the moment. I think it was just a big hit centre ice. We're going to see what the referee's given here. The way he went down.
He's initially calling it charging.
It's
come at 57:08.
Probably going to be 2 minutes.
Had a frustrating night, Lee Salters.
2 minutes for charging.
You know what happens if they convert this power play, don't you?
It's a 1-goal game.
Yeah.
No, there's a restaurant in Asiago where they grow you eat cattle from their farm and you drink wine from their vineyard. It's very nice. If I'm there in November,
it's not called McDonald's then.
It's not called McDonald's, did you say?
No. Well, he had a farm.
If we're there in November, I'll take you there. But you're paying. Because it's not cheap.
Mr. Black's paying.
Okay, that's there on the record. So slightly nervy moments for Nottingham. 5-3 on the scoreboard. It's a 2-goal spread. And it's a power play. And the Spanish have scored once on the power play, once when the power play has just, we think, come to a close. And they've got a chance in front of net. But Dan Green makes himself big and makes a save.
He tried to hang on to that as best he could, couldn't he? And he managed to keep it under control in the end. 1:50 to go.
They're certainly making it exciting.
On the penalty kill for the Panthers. It's got the fans on the edge of their seats before they go home on a Friday night.
Well, absolutely. And they'll all be wanting to come back for more tomorrow night, I'm sure.
I think there'll be quite a few hoping to get last orders.
Yeah, why not? What a great weekend of European ice hockey there is, though. 2 more games tomorrow, 2 more games on Sunday, and 1 team will go through to the Continental Cup 3rd round. Ryan has it. Don't forget, this is Panthers on the penalty kill. Final 2 minutes of the game are approaching. 2 minutes 20, it says on the clock at the moment. The shot comes in from distance, and Green just needs to guide it to one side. That's all he needs to do. He sees that one all the way. Nottingham ice it, get some fresh legs on. Still 70 seconds to go, though, on the penalty kill. Exactly 2 minutes in the game. And Gasteiz come forward. Left-hand side into the offensive zone they come now. 50 seconds on the 5-on-4 situation. Klepak doesn't control it first time, but then the shot comes in and the man in front nearly gets a touch.
Well, I thought he did get a touch, but he went upstairs and over the bar. But your eyes are younger than mine.
Well, they might not be better than yours, though. 30 seconds to go. Would be interesting if a goal went in now, and there is a chance at the back door. And that one is charged down. It was Sosa who had the opportunity, and then the shot comes in from Klepak. Sosa he just couldn't really get the puck totally under control, I don't think. And that is offside. 66 seconds to go in the game. 15 seconds to go in the power play situation. It's a lot nervier than I thought it would be, Gary.
It's been closer, but throughout we've been able to say Panthers have the upper hand. They had, gears to go to, as we've said. It's a cliche, isn't it? But when you're not at your best and you win games, there's something good about it. And a win's a win, as we keep saying. As we keep saying this year.
Yeah, well, exactly. I mean, I don't think the coach has been happy with the performance of Nottingham for a lot of the season, but 1 defeat all season tells its own story.
I think we'll have to up our game against The Hague and Riga somewhat.
And I think the Nottingham boys will. I think it will be. Again, it's the opposition. The team will know they've got to up their game, and I think that's what will happen. Final 30 seconds. This is going to go down in the W column, and Nottingham are going to get their Continental Cup campaign. Probably not up to the start they thought it would be, but it is going to be a win. Another chance maybe just there for Gasteiz, but Green makes himself big once more. Can Nottingham break down the ice and score a 6th goal? David Clark there looking for a hat-trick, but that is going to be icing, of course. We've still got 16 seconds to go.
Yeah, had it been touch icing, that would have been a good play from Matt Ryan, but because as soon as the puck crosses the far goal line, if you've played it from behind your halfway line, they're going to blow the whistle and bring play back to your end. It's designed to make it more exciting and to stop you banging the puck down the ice, and it did the exact opposite of that intention there.
Yeah, I'm not sure I'm a big fan of line icing. Of course, new icing in the NHL this season. But that is going to be it. I think David Clark will just motion the puck down the ice. We've still got 9.4 seconds to go. And we're going to have...
I'm sorry, only a poor referee whistles the play down with 9.4 seconds to go for a high stick pass that didn't lead to any injury or any danger of any kind whatsoever to any personnel on the ice.
It is, though, a face-off in the offensive zone for Nottingham. And Ryan will go down. Matt Ryan. And Nottingham might get one last chance on net. Well, that's going to be a high stick, I think. Boxall gets the stick in the face. So we are going to see a power play to the Panthers for 4.5 seconds. High stick is called. Sosa goes to sit down. And can Nottingham use a play?
In the old days, we had a referee called Ken Taggart. He called very little in the third period because he wanted to get to last orders. He wouldn't have called the high stick pass. He wouldn't have called the high stick penalty. It virtually had to be something out of last night's episode of Emmerdale before he'd call it in the last 5 minutes of a game.
No, that was nasty. And that is the end of the game. And the Nottingham Panthers start their Continental Cup campaign Perhaps not the big win that they thought they might have, but they're on their board and they are second in this group after the first day, with Riga having a heavier win earlier in the day. It finishes here, Nottingham 5, Vitoria-Gasteiz 3.
The Spanish side win the third and last period with Dan Green in goal for the GMB Nottingham Panthers. It was a hard-working effort from the men in green, but it was a competent effort from the men in white, and they had spare gears to go to. They'll probably need them before this tournament's out, and if they get through this tournament in Nottingham to make progress to the third round, the next round, they'll certainly need to play a lot better than that. But for the time being, a win's a win, and Panthers lead this one by 5-3 at the final hooter, and they join Riga on a win in the Continental Cup here at the world famous Capital FM Arena. My thanks to Chris Ellis. This is Gary Moran bidding you a fond farewell. We'll leave the camera going though while we watch the Man of the Match Awards, which will be presented by Vic Baines and his family, President of the Midlands and East Coast section of the GMB, the union which is not only supporting us here with our coverage on panthers.co.uk, on Panthers TV, but also are the team's main sponsors. Thanks for watching.
Man of the match for Vitoria-Gasteiz, number 56, Sosa. Now, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for both teams. Big round of applause for Vitoria-Gasteiz as they leave the ice. They're back tomorrow in the Continental Cup here in the afternoon. Now, please put your hands together for the GMB Nottingham Panthers.